The funerals for migrants killed in a Mexican detention center fire are underway this week as the country's top immigration official now faces criminal charges.
President
Andrés Manuel López Obrador making a brief comment today after the country's general prosecutor of the Republic announced it would charge Francisco Garduño, head of the Mexican Migration Institute. The prosecutor's office indicating, quote, the faults and omissions that continue to be committed by the National Migration Institute would indicate a pattern of irresponsibility. In total, 40 migrants from Central and South America died trapped inside a Juarez detention center last March 27th after a fire broke out, leaving some detainees locked in their cells. The latest announcement from Mexican authorities came as the bodies of 17 Guatemalans arrived in Central America via Mexican Air Force planes. Another 7 of the dead were also from the neighboring country of El Salvador, including Almicar Solorzano. He was my baby, and the pain is stabbing me after his death, said his mother as she held onto her son's coffin. Authorities there demanding action against those responsible.
El gobierno de El Salvador ha exigido una investigación exhaustiva y conforme al debido proceso.
Mexican investigators say a Venezuelan migrant is responsible for starting the fire, but also place responsibility on 3 Mexican immigration workers, along with a private security guard. All have been arrested. Yet for friends and family members of the deceased, the horrific incident is just another cruel reminder of the deadly risks for migrants attempting to arrive in the U.S.
Just heartbreaking. Guad Venegas joins us now. And Guad, I understand the General Prosecutor's Office is now looking into another deadly incident that involved migrants in Mexico, right?
Gabe, the last press release from federal authorities in Mexico says that just 4 days after that fire in Ciudad Juarez, there was what they call a similar incident in the state of Tabasco. This is in southern Mexico. It's a state where a lot of migrants travel through, making their way north. Now, the report says that 1 migrant died in that incident and 14 others resulted wounded. They say the prosecutor's office says they took both incidents into consideration when deciding to press charges against the head of the Mexican Migration Institute, Gabe.
Yeah, Guad, it is such a difficult journey. And Guad, as the investigation continues, so does migration, of course, in Juarez. Has there been any changes in how migrants are being processed after this incident?
Gabe, that's what's going to be difficult to predict. So we know that immigration authorities around Mexico do their best to detain the immigrants that they believe are traveling through Mexico undocumented or not with the regular paperwork. But it is difficult to know what they will be doing. So that center in Juarez, the one where the fire happened, was a detention center where migrants were placed before these migrants would be then taken back to the southern border. It's difficult to know with this shakeup with Mexican immigration authorities, now the head of the Migration Institute being charged. It's difficult to know how they will proceed and what action they will take if a migrant that is in one of these border cities decides to break the law. For example, just a few days ago, we saw another group of migrants rush the U.S.-Mexico border. These are actions that then need a response from authorities. So we don't know if it'll be local police, state police, the National Guard, or Mexican immigration authorities that will take action when some of these incidents take place, because this was them taking action with migrants that they had decided to detain in one of these centers. So it's difficult to know how federal authorities in Mexico will proceed, as you mentioned, with more migrants now arriving at the U.S.-Mexico border, Gabe.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.